Hi there, Rachel Bradley here, licensed principal broker in Oregon. I wanted to talk today about negotiation power, the negotiation power of a buyer. With the question really being, do buyers have more negotiation power on today's current market in 2025? And my answer to that is a cautious yes. It is dependent, though, however, on many variables that come into play. The number one being the market that particular home is in. Now, the Portland metro market, we've seen we're at about 3.2 months of inventory right now. We have seen an uptick in inventory over the last couple months. So that is good news. However, depending on the city that you're buying in, some cities are more competitive than others. So you're going to need to, if you're looking to buy a home in Happy Valley, it might be different if you're looking to buy a home in the Beaverton area, or say West Lynn versus Portland proper, Clackamas area, in certain cities, even Milwaukee versus Gladstone or Oregon City. They're each going to have their own market and their own numbers. So it's really important for a buyer to understand the market conditions of the particular area that they're wanting to purchase a home in. It's also a way to strategize. So if there's a couple different areas that you're interested in, it's a great idea to actually look at the numbers in those areas if you do want to negotiate on your transaction, and pick an area that it looks like you might have some more room to negotiate. Another huge factor that comes into play when we're talking about negotiating with sellers is, how long has that house been on the market? If a house is just listed, the idea that you're going to be able to negotiate aggressively with the seller, in my mind, is pretty unlikely. However, if a house has been sitting on the market for several months, there might be some more room for negotiation there. And another thing to take into account is what you as the buyer, what are your financial standings? What type of loan are you getting? How much money are you putting down? How much money are you willing to put down for earnest money? Do you need the seller to cover your closing costs or your buyer agent fees? All of those factors come into play when we're talking about a negotiation. But what I am seeing is that buyers do have a little bit more wiggle room for negotiation, and that sellers are willing to come to the table with some of those concessions for buyers, which is fantastic news. We are still seeing that the median and average home price has increased year over year. With that being said, we are not at the ridiculous 10% plus appreciation that we were just a couple years back when we had those super low interest rates. So across the board, what this means for buyers is that there is, hypothetically, cautiously, a little bit more room for negotiation power. My advice to clients is to never come in and lowball at a seller. I just don't think it works out to anybody's advantage. Usually sellers can get really offended and that transaction will never come together. But if you can put your best foot forward and maybe try to negotiate on a couple terms that are really important to you, I think that on today's market there is room to do that. However, if it's a brand new listing in a really great market, we are still seeing multiple offers on some of those properties, again, that are in that great neighborhood or have the great amenities that people want. So another thing to consider is, are you buying a condo or a house? I'm seeing way more room for negotiation in condos than single family homes right now. And again, that biggest factor is, what are the market conditions of that particular city or zip code that you're looking to buy in? So make sure that your agent is really looking at those numbers so that they can give you good advice, and you can strategically place your offer and put yourself in a position to actually obtain that home and not get in too big of a back and forth with the seller. So I hope that information is helpful. If you're looking to buy or sell in the Portland area or surrounding communities, feel free to give me a call. Always happy to talk real estate. Happy house hunting.